Guys, how are you all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening wrap. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we will go straight over to those charts and see what is occurring. So for our chart, so we got up to that level. This is what we were expecting once we broke above here. This was basically out of the four levels we were looking at. This was the least strong one. So once we'd obviously held at 10k, broke 10.3k, breaking 10.6 was pretty much going to get us up to this 11k, which it basically has now. So now it is a case. So what happens here? What do we do now? Do we have the strength to continue marching to the upside, get through 11k, get into this zone and trade around here, or are we going to get rejected here, play some sideways, potentially have a lower high here and then come to make a lower low, tightening formation, consolidate above 10,600, and then break up? What I will say is that we have the we've got the daily TD9 coming up, so the TD Sequential 9 coming up tomorrow. And interestingly, I was watching Tone Vaser's live stream today because it just popped up whilst I was at my desk at a bit of a loose end. I don't normally watch videos, but I have watched a lot of them in the past, and his videos are great for understanding the TD Sequential, understanding some moving averages, and you can learn a lot from them. I learned a lot years ago from them. Yeah, they are recommended, but now all of a sudden it's strange. He now doesn't say the TD Sequential, he doesn't say TD9s, he calls them MRI buy, I think, and MRI sells, which stands for momentum reversal indicator, but this momentum reversal indicator is the TD Sequential, basically, and the reversals are the 9s, and you'll get like either a sell or a buy when you get a 9, and then you don't get any of the other numbers, and it doesn't say 9. And yeah, so I commented on his video actually, and he did actually respond to my comment. I basically said to him, this MRI is pointless, you might as well just use the TD or something, and he says, well, yes, it is. Oh no, I think I said it's useless. Useless because you just use the TD, because then you have all the information, all the counts. And he was like, well, yes, it is useless to us, but it's not useless to him, because apparently trademark problems, obviously, with it being exactly the same as the TD Sequential, and nothing's changed. It still is the TD Sequential. It's just like it's just a really slimmed down, light version of it, with none of the other information that you need to see, such as the fact that we're going to have a TD9 tomorrow. If you had the MRI, which I actually have TD, Tone's TD, he calls it TI, so I'm guessing that was too close to TD Sequential. He called it a TI Sequential, but it is a TD Sequential. So I don't see how then calling it MRI, even though it still is the TD Sequential without the things, is much different. But what I am saying is, like, as we've been watching and observing this 9 and 8, and then we see accelerations into 9s, and when we know we're towards the end of a count, it's useful. That's very useful information, and I've been talking about this for 2 days prior, haven't I? This daily 9 coming up. So to not have that information on the indicator, and it does make it it makes it useless. As long as you have the TD Sequential, either Tone's version, which this is, or just a free version on TradingView, which is basically the same, there is no real difference, then you have more information and you can get a better picture. So it is bizarre, to say the least. But anyway, that's enough of that rant. Anyway, we're only talking about that because we have got this, we have basically got this in 9 incoming, and I mean, you guys know that I do like to see acceleration into the 9. Not like I like to see it, I just expect it happens a lot of the time. So we really could be seeing a move potentially even to this 11,500 level. It would look perfectly normal to me, and then we would get a retrace from that level there. I mean, yeah, it basically, is almost like it's a swing failure above the daily 200. If we basically do go up to there and then come back down, get rejected there. But that's not the end of the world. Obviously, the 200-day moving average is an important moving average, and two, come test it, pull back, and then break it. I mean, that's usually how you break them. You don't normally trade through them as if they're not there. So this is an important moving average coming at a daily line. But like I said, if we are going to come and test this and we are going to get the next extension on the daily line, I literally would expect us to get to this zone around 11,500, then reject from there, and then see how good we are at holding 11,000. But realistically, I would probably guess we would come back to 10,600 briefly, test that, and then come back up, take out 11,000, then take out the 200-day moving average, and then continue in a bull trend. But yeah, this is all clear. Like I say quite a lot, this is like you could consider it crystal ball stuff. But all I'm really saying is just likely patterns that markets will move and trade in based on the information we've got, which are these horizontal important levels, which are the moving averages, particularly the 200-day that's coming in of relevance, and also the TD sequential that is quite relevant, that it has a daily 9 coming. So that is what all that is based on. Let's have a look at that weekly as well, just to see how this is looking. I mean, weekly was obviously we had this sort of topping candle here, an indecision candle, and then bang, we got sold down. We had an indecision candle, then bang, we got bought up, and then the 2 weekly, the bi-weekly, is really the 9 that we've been watching. So I mean, this does look good for continuation to the upside, on the basis that we've had a lot of consolidation here. Sorry, this is an important level, resistance level, which we broke out. We came back and back tested it off a bi-weekly 9 or an MRI sell, as Tone Rays would now say, which is strange after like many years of him calling it TD9s, to him then call it an MRI sell. It's just bizarre. It's like it clangs. But anyway, but yeah, we're looking like we are bouncing off the back test of this, and then if we come back up, take out this level here around 12,500, honestly, the sky's the limit. I mean, 14k the next level, but that's not an important level compared to this level realistically here. As in closing anyway. Closing, obviously these are wicks and traded up there, but yeah, closing. But yeah, getting back above here, it would look very good for a continuation to pick your number. Pick your number, basically. So yeah, let's go back to the 4 hour, a more relevant time frame, and you can see what's going on here. Textbook. Textbook 1 to 4 candle correction after the 4 hour 9, and like I say, sideways to down. I mean, this is just textbook, sideways to down, 4 candles, 1 2 3 4, and then bang, back up again. I mean, like I said, looking at this, acceleration into the 9 is what I expect, and you guys know that 11,000 is a very important level. The only difference being we have momentum now we have momentum and trend in at least this medium term to get through it. So it is an important level, but it's going to need more than just it being this important level to completely reject price. But it does have a daily, it does have a daily TD9, and it does have the 200-day moving average to give it some assistance. Obviously, the daily 200s. The exact price is around 11,200, so that is not high for a wick anyway, and we nearly traded 11,100 today anyway. So yeah, just careful with your shorts, guys. Basically, I know some of you guys were saying you were shorting around 10,900, which I mean, that's where you want to be shorting. If you're going to short anything, short resistance. But obviously the trend is up, so so that's kind of what I'm looking at there. Let's have a look at those good old stochastics. And is the 4 hour getting jammed up there? Like I said, it could quite easily do based on the higher term ones. I believe it is. So here it is, there it is, doing its thing. 10 hour is yeah, back up there, looking to try and cross down a little bit, but this can get jammed up here relatively in this relatively high level, much kind of like how it did here. 12 hour very strong. 12 hour has not been this high for since the end of April. So 12 hour looking very good, and these are the ones we need to get moving up. We get this daily moving, we are in business. We get this 2-day moving, we are in business. We get this 3-day turned up and moving, we are in business. And we get this you guys know what I'm about to say. Get these 5 days and these basically get these moving up, and clearly monthly looking good, and bi-weekly is up there, but like I said, it will get jammed up there whilst price action stays up there. But yeah, I mean, the main one, this daily and 2-day, get these coming up, and it won't really matter too much about any shorter term pullbacks we get off this 10 hour or 12 hour, and then, I mean, in the context of the larger trend, you will still get bullish resets of 4-hour Stokes, but price action just won't necessarily come down that far. But yeah, we maybe are getting a bit ahead of ourselves, horse in front of the carriage type thing. We've got to take out 11,000. We've got to basically find some sort of support at 11,000 or 10,600, then turn back up or remain going back up. And yeah, just get back into our nice little zone of altcoin heaven, because let's face it, guys, these altcoins are getting hammered, absolutely hammered. Let's go to BTC.D. BTC.D. Yeah, I was saying in the chat, someone told, I don't know whether it was someone in the chat or someone in the comment, whoever it was, but yeah, they were saying that basically, obviously we know Peter Schiff is the BTC hater, but Tone Vase is the BTC.D hater. He hates BTC dominance. It's crazy, isn't it? Do you know what though? Do you know what? When I say things about Tone Vase, I don't really like to cause any sort of controversy by sort of dissing anybody or saying anything bad about people. Like I always try and frame it in the fact I've learned a lot on the TD and on Tone Vase. It's just his macro reviews aren't really that good and whatever. But I don't really like to say too much. But I feel that most of the crypto community doesn't even like Tone Vase anyway. No fairness. He was calling for like obviously lower Bitcoin when obviously that, I mean, people just don't want to hear that, even though he was right, not with as low as he said it would go. But also just he hates altcoins, like irrationally hates it the same way Peter Schiff irrationally hates hates Bitcoin. And it's just interesting that Tone Vase can't seem to see what he sees in Peter Schiff is what a lot of crypto people see in him, because like there are a lot of altcoins with use cases and things that they can do, and yeah, I mean they have value. I mean Ethereum has value. I mean there's things that they can do. So it just seems irrational to write them all off as scams. It's bizarre. It is odd. Anyway, even in the actual real world, we get competing currencies, even down to like precious metals as currencies. You get gold and silver, you get platinum, you get even palladium, there's competing metals. Why could he not see that there would be competing cryptocurrencies that are legitimate? And it's not even like a lot of them are competing. They serve a purpose in the ecosystem. Like chaining, for example. Chaining, it does what chaining does. It has its value because of what it does. I mean, why is it a worthless scam coin that should be zero? It's bizarre. It is bizarre. Anyway, so we have looked at BTC, we've looked at the stochastics, we looked at what I'm thinking. Let's have a look at what good old JP, Jerome Powell, PE Powell, private equity Powell formerly of the Carlyle Group private equity company. See what he's doing for his mates. See how he's helping his mates out at the moment. Obviously, we're having a bit of a sell-off because, well, I tell you what, though, I wouldn't want to be Jerome Powell, because the thing is about these guys is that they are clever. They're not stupid guys. They know a lot about the economy. They definitely know more than we know about the economy. Even they definitely know a lot more than people that do know a lot more about the economy. They are more privy to a lot more statistic figures. They know what they can trust, what they can't trust. They are basically the people in the center of it all. And they know everything we all know. They know there's nothing they can do, but they can't come out and say it. They can't come out and do it. Do you know what I mean? He knows there's nothing he can do. He knows he basically... I bet Jerome Powell wishes he never took that job. I bet he wishes he never took that job. He basically said all the stuff he was going to say. He was going to run off the balance. He was going to do all these great things. And then the stock market has a tantrum. The repo markets have a tantrum. Debt markets have a tantrum. And then that's it. Jerome Powell has to basically step into line. It's a lot like actual like presidential candidates. The presidential candidates, they say all sorts of different exciting, great things. And then as soon as they get in office, I mean... I would give them the benefit of the doubt. They genuinely mean and say and want to do what they want to do. Jerome Powell meant and said what he probably wanted to do in the early days. Another certain presidential candidate that had different views on the market and used to slate the Fed, he basically probably genuinely did believe and the stuff he was saying. And then you get to office, you get into the situations, you see what you got to do, and it's like, wow, I'm stuck. I am stuck here. I've got to basically just got to keep peddling keep doing the same thing, and we just got to maintain the status quo. That is it. We can't. There's no responsibility that can be had, and otherwise, basically, there will be turmoil. No one wants the turmoil. Fair enough, it may be better once we get to the other side, but no one wants to go through that. Nobody wants to go through it. It's like, say you've got gangrene in your arm and you've got to cut the arm off. I mean, do you want to be the guy that cuts the arm off? Do you want to cut your own arm off? Do you want to, do you want to be like, yeah, right now is the time that you are going to cut my arm off? Or would you be like, no, we'll just leave it. We'll leave it another day. We'll leave it another few hours. We'll wait. We'll leave it. We won't do it now. No, we won't do it now. Can someone else do it? Do you know what I mean? These guys are just stuck. These guys are stuck and they don't want their jobs. So I do always kind of look at it in that context. They sort of get tricked into it, and then they get sort of like told by the people, the real people in charge, or just the situation and the alternatives, and they just have to pull their weight. So anyway, that was a long rant, that was. But anyway, so now S&P is obviously selling off based on obviously they weren't getting enough of the good stuff. Or just the good stuff isn't working. The Fed has never been able to actually stop any markets crash at any point in the history. They've only been able to do stuff afterwards, mainly inflate bubbles of some sort. I mean, in 2008 it was a housing bubble. They purposely targeted and aimed to inflate and inflated. They know that's all they can do. Alan Greenspan's book, I'm sure, I've read one of his books that's called Bubble Man. They call him Bubble Man. I don't think it was his autobiography was called Bubble Man, but because I don't think he would have called himself that. But there is a book that I did read. Maybe it was a biography of him. But yeah, anyway, let's look at the S&P. S&P on the 4 hour. As you can see, we've come back to test this trend line. Had a bit of a tantrum, but do we think this is going to get bought back up? Of course we do. Of course we do, guys. Of course we do. It's what happens. We know it. And I would actually say, when I was actually trading stock indices more, like when you hear Fed speak and they whack the market down, you just buy it back up and it goes back up. I mean, obviously not straight away, maybe the next day, maybe the day after, but gonna give it a bit of leeway. Once you sort of see a reversal pattern and or break up back above a certain level or a nice bullish candlestick, you just buy in and then the thing goes back up. Is this what's going to happen now? Most likely, guys. Most likely. So yeah, that will drag everything up. But anyway, yeah, let's look at the Nasdaq. Yeah, Nasdaq having a little bit of a pullback here as well. Yeah, I mean, let's have a look at it on the daily, because I was going to say I believe it's getting rejected by the daily 21. Yeah, getting rejected by the daily 21. Playing between this horizontal. I mean, you could say it's getting squeezed between the 21 and the 50, but it isn't. It's just a zone here. I don't really put a lot of weight on the 50-period moving average. I mean, for me, it is a useful reference point, But the main thing is obviously for your golden crosses and your death crosses, really, the 50 periods on there for, and then the 200-day is important. The 200-day is important. But yeah, we are getting held up by the 50 period. So yeah, there you go. You could argue we're getting held up by the 50 period. I would probably argue we're getting held up by this horizontal. But yeah, nonetheless, it's practically the same area. So are we going to get back above this 2021 and just continue? I mean, potentially even find ourselves back into this trend line, and sorry, this channel, and then just keep making our way up, possibly. Gold had obviously a little bit, you can't really see it that much on the daily. Gold had a little bit of a tantrum. This is an hourly chart just so I can kind of show you what's going on. It's quite a big-ish range for gold. Sorry, on these candles. But yeah, gold, as you can see, we will go to a higher time frame now. As you can see, it is looking at making a move. If they're going to try and hold this asset down, this is where they're fighting. They're fighting here. They're fighting here. They were fighting there. But will they ultimately fail? I believe so. I think there is going to be an expansion in volatility in gold. And it is a question of, is it going to be to the upside or is it going to be to the downside? And like I'm saying, my guess, my belief, it is to the upside. Oil, we have got a bit of market manipulation going on oil. We don't look at this too much, mainly because they messed my chart up. So yeah, you can see we had practically no volatility. It's just I need to get a different oil contract to look at, because we just got that stupid dip down to negative. That's pulling the price down, messing the chart up. But yeah, you can see we were just nicely following this daily 21. There you go, the importance of the daily 21. Yeah, then we lost it properly, fully and formally closed below. And then bang, bang, bang. But, well, there you go. And wait a minute. An MRI buy signal right here. MRI buy signal, that's what it's called. Momentum reversal indicator buy signal. Formerly known as the TD9. Yeah, perfect buy there. Yeah. At the candle close, you bought that at the candle close. Yeah, whatever. You buy when you break above it. Yep, you're fine, you're good, and then nice move back up in oil. You guys know that I think oil is a buy, and it's for the same reason that I think that it's just dollars to sell, basically. That is the reason. Obviously, dollar index is putting up a fight at its trend line as well. But do I think it's going to win that fight? No. Could I be wrong? Yes. Is everything statistics? Yes. There you go. I mean, people talking about statistics, people play the lottery, don't they? There is a very low chance of them winning, but they do play it because sometimes those low probability things happen. And it is the same with this. It is the same with basically, it's not with this, with technical analysis. It's the same with technical analysis. Whilst things are improbable, they can still happen. It's just statistics, guys. So yeah. Obviously you can see dollar index getting guided down. Do I think this is going to break? No. At some point it will break and start to go up. Like I had a little bit of a rant on this. People are looking at this thinking well, buy. It's a buy. It's going up. I don't look at this chart and think it's a buy. I honestly don't. And this is since 1986, guys. We have a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, probably a lower high, and are we going to get a lower low? I mean, this is the chart since 1986. Why are people looking at this chart like proper analysts, proper people that I do respect, and hell-bent, certain that this is going up? I just don't get it. I actually think, I will tell you what I actually think. They just think they're smart. They just think, yeah, the dollar's going to go up. I'll be contrarian. Yeah, people think it's weak. They're doing all this printing. People think it's going to go down. Yeah, but I reckon it'll go up. But yeah, I think they're overthinking it. I think they're overthinking it, guys. And they're definitely not looking at longer term charts and thinking, yeah, this is going up. Anyway, unless they're looking at, well, this breakout here and then, yeah. But look, we are currently trading down here, and looking like we're going to come down, I mean, at least into here, probably lower lows. So that's my rant on the dollar. That is my rant on the dollar done. So there we go. There has to be a release valve, guys, with all the craziness that's going on, and it will either be the bond market and the stock market, so it'll be the dollar, and it ain't gonna be the bond market and the stock markets if the people that are in charge of the dollar have anything to do with it. So therefore, it's gonna be the dollar. Let's have a quick look at Tesla. How is Tesla doing? Seeing as my friend who is like all in on Tesla has been popping up recently, so it must be doing okay. Yeah, I mean, this is the daily, isn't it? Wait, let's go to a 4 hour here. Yeah, I mean, we've got the trend line in. It's doing all right. We obviously at a 4 hour 9 here. How important that'll be, I don't really know. 4 hour 9 is not, I mean, not necessarily playing out that well. 1, 2, 3. We got it on the third, but nicely bounced off the trend line. Not made a higher high, but yeah, do I think this is going up? Probably, yeah. Probably, I think so, because I think stock markets are going up, and this is a stock in the stock market. Nicola getting slammed because, well, I don't actually know, but I know the SEC are looking into them, and I heard it's not about the reverse merger that they did. Now, I'm not saying all reverse mergers are scams, but most scams are reverse mergers, and these were a reverse merger. I think apparently it's something to do with them having a fake truck in a video saying it was working when it wasn't. Neo obviously got to 20, which is I've not even bothered messaging the guy. He was basically popped up when it was about 12, saying after this pump up here and we came back down to 12 when we were here, he was saying, I can't believe. Bear in mind, this guy's not a stock trader; he's a personal trainer, and he's just one of those guys that got involved in stocks because they're bored, and why not? Because they've been going up. But he was just like, he'd done well, he's made money, he's done well, he's rode the wave up, great, excellent. But now he's like, oh, these people that are buying in at $12 in Neo, thinking it's going to go to 20. I don't think they're ever going to see get their money back. And I literally looked at the chart and I was like, this is probably going to 20. Do you know what I mean? Just, you've made money on the way up. So basically, you made your money, you've got out of your position, and now you don't want it to go up any further. And the people that are buying, you're sort of negging them, hoping that they won't get to 20 so that they won't make the money because you're not still in it, basically. And there we had 20. How long is this video? I've been having a lot of rants about everything today. 26 minutes. I think we're going, well, I think this is a record. Not we're going for a record. This is a record. But anyway, back to Bitcoin, and let's finish this video. So yeah, like I said, daily 9, I think it's important. We have got momentum. We are at an important level. The trend, as Tone would say, we're getting to a momentum reversal indicator sell signal, formerly known as a TD Sequential 9 on the daily. But yeah, that 9 could easily come into this zone here, guys. We could easily pump up into the mid 11,000. So be cognizant of that fact. Not that fact. Yeah, it's a fact we could. It is a fact that we could. But yeah, just be aware of that. But yeah, will we immediately get rejected here? We could do, but I don't think that's the most likely scenario. We are coming at this thick and fast, guys. In much the same way we came down thick and fast. We are coming up. We are moving up. We are moving up strongly here, and we're getting these 12 daily and 2 days looking good momentum wise and also stochastics wise, and then the other ones are getting jammed up there like you'd expect, and they're happy to stay up in that high zone. So obviously oil's going to give the stock markets a boost. Obviously the stock markets were looking very good until P. Powell shook them a bit. I mean, that could even be buy on rumor, sell on fact, and there'd be nothing bad that P. Powell said, other than they're just selling some because now he's spoken. But yeah, expect that to keep going up. Nice to see silver at 27, sorry, because that will clearly soon be 28, and then 30, and then I'll win another bet. And yeah, excellent guys. So I'm sorry if you guys that video was a bit long for you all. But I hope there was some useful information in there for you. And thanks for listening. And remember, this is definitely not financial advice. And obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. And I'll speak to you guys in the morning.